close down thousands more. So it's coming. But what a lot of people are worried about is how this will affect them, because whenever they do these currency changes, I remember going back a few years now, in the 70s, when they changed our currency from the old imperial system to decimalization. And I remember my parents saying everything's gone up in price. They've screwed us. They've rounded it up in their favour. So everything was rounded up to suit the decimalisation against the consumer. Similar thing when we joined the common market, which became eventually the European Union. Everything went up. I've talked to people in Spain and Italy when the euro was introduced, and they all got screwed as well. The price of everything went up. I remember Spain being a really cheap country to go to when it was pesetas, and everyone seemed to be okay. When the euro came in, everything went up in price. So it just worries me that, when they bring in this new currency or they change the currency, that somehow the consumer is going to get screwed, because it has to be paid for somehow, and the taxpayer is going to pay it, the consumer is going to pay for it somehow. The government haven't got their own money, and it's going to cost billions, I think. So it is a worry. Obviously, there's darker forces out there saying we're all going to get, they're going to steal our money and that sort of thing. I don't know about that. And then there's the gold buffs who say put all your money in gold and silver and hide it and that sort of thing. Get a cabin in the woods, get 10 years supply of food and get guns and that sort of thing. But I'm not worried to that extent. But the central bank digital currencies, it's already more or less there in China. America's talking about it. It's like the whole world is working together in these G7 meetings to do the same thing. I've never known countries to be in such synchronization before, but it definitely seems to be happening. And of course, we've still got inflation, 10%. It's come down a bit. It's coming down in America a bit faster, but they're still putting up interest rates, only just recently. And that means that prices are going up by 10% every year, everything you buy. And even if inflation comes down to, say, 5%, it doesn't mean prices have come down. It just means prices are only going up by 5% instead of 10%. So there's not much difference there, really, is there? And it doesn't affect the fact that you've paid more this year is not going to come down next year if inflation comes down. The rate of growth will just slow. Unless we go to minus negative inflation or deflation, then prices come down. So it does look a bit gloomy at the moment. People are still paying a lot for their bills. They're still mortgages are going up. Although there are banks introducing slightly cheaper mortgages now, where you've got bigger deposits, but generally rates are going up for borrowing, like credit cards, business borrowing, and that sort of thing. And we're seeing a lot of businesses, small businesses, go out of business, just close up. We can't manage anymore. Sorry, I'm closing down. I'll go and get a job. I mean, some small business owners will be better off just having a manual job driving a bus than they would be running their business and working 80 hours a week for very little profit. So we're seeing a lot of that, and things are tough out there. So I think the key to all this is money management. You notice that some people do well in any situation, whether it's recession, up, downturn, sideways. They always seem to do well, and that's because they know how to manage their finances and build their wealth. And next Wednesday evening, 8 p.m, I'm running a training webinar, which I'll show you my 3 steps to money management. The first being getting control of your finances, really getting control so you know exactly what's happening. And then moving on to managing your money, changing your mindset, and building wealth over time. Not a get-rich-quick scheme, building wealth over time so that you can eventually quit the rat race or retire comfortably or just work part-time, doing the things you want to do when you want to do them. So I'll be going through that, a detailed training next Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. So I'll put a description up here. So please join me there, and I'll see you there. And if I don't see you there, check out, keep liking and subscribing on my Money Tips podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. But do check out that training. It could change your life. Okay, bye for now.